स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते. So we will first chant the Shanti mantra of Kathopanishad as we did yesterday, following half line, half the pada. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, we have very little time, so I don't want to rush through also. I don't know what to do in 3 hours, how to complete so much. But little recapitulation necessary. I will just chant the Nachiketa's second question, which I explained in great detail yesterday, and then go over to the third verse after that, where we had started explaining 2 lines, we had done the rest of it. Anyatra dharmad anyatra dharmat anyatra smat krita kritat anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yat tat pashyasi tadvada. So yesterday I said that this question is a very erudite question compared to the first question of Nachiketa, which is a simple that whether anything is there when the body falls or not. Here he is asking, almost becoming impatient, that, oh Yamaraja, if you know anything like that, you tell me about that. What is that? Which is beyond the dual code of dharma and adharma. The code of morality, good, bad, etc. Beyond all duality, if you know anything, you tell me about that. The second part is, if you know anything beyond the causality, cause and effect chain, because the whole creation is under the cause and effect chain. As I explained repeatedly, that the causal logic itself is faulty to find out the ultimate cause. There cannot be anything, because whatever you reach by the causal logic, you will ask, what is the cause of that? How did it come? So naturally the question comes that if there is anything called absolute, it has to transcend the causality. And causality, time are together, because whatever precedes in time, we call it cause. So if at all anything absolute is there, it has to be beyond causality, beyond time also. See, he is asking, if you know anything beyond the cause and effect chain, you tell me about it. And if you know anything beyond the past and future, you tell me about it. Bhutacha bhavyacha. I explained yesterday that the limit of present is 0. And not only that, the present is actually the transcendental truth also. It is really not 0, but it is transcending time. So he wanted to know that. Then I have explained the 3 following shlokas, and then came to the final reply to this question, where Yamaraja is saying, Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit Ajo nitya shashvato yam purano न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The first 2 lines I have explained, that here Vipaschit means Atma and Vipaschit means the knower also. Knower is one who has identified his identities with the universal Atma. So it can mean both. So how it is saying that na jayate na mriyate va vipaschit, the knower does not get born, does not die. Because the knower does not identify himself with the body-mind personality, which is changeful, which is having the birth, death, changes, everything. He identifies with the universal, even more than universal, in which the whole universe appears to be, that consciousness or Atma he identifies with. So naturally that is beyond all changes. Whenever we refer to anything immortal, imperishable, it cannot be within the objective creation at all, because the whole creation is changeful. It is having a birth, it is having a death or destruction, and in between it is changing, following the causal chain. So whenever we are talking about the immortality of our soul, immortal Atma, or the immortal truth or Brahman, it has to be beyond, transcending the objective ken. It cannot be in the objective ken. It is about the subject we are speaking about. But subject we say when there is an object. Again, that subject-object duality is there. Truly speaking, it is beyond the subject-object duality also. It is the truth in which the whole subject-object duality, along with the whole universe, which contains my body-mind personality also, it appears to be. So it is wrong to call the consciousness within the body. Rather, the body is within the consciousness. I think these are all clear. I have discussed in great detail. Now, Nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit. Yesterday we explained it. I will tell again. He is saying that it has not come from anything. That means it doesn't have any cause. Na babhuva kaschit. Nothing has come from it also. See the fallacy of it. We wanted to find out the cause of the universe, and we are saying it has no cause. But when we say it has no cause, means it doesn't have any effect also. So the universe cannot come out of it. Do you get it? Nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit. That is because the universe is not a parinama srishti. Parinama srishti means material creation. In material creation, always there is a cause and effect, and in producing any effect, the cause undergoes a change. Suppose we burn the table will not be there. The ash will be produced. Table is the cause, the ash is the effect. Anywhere in the creation, whenever anything is produced, the cause undergoes a change. So when we are saying that the absolute truth is beyond any causality, we cannot think of further causality behind that. It means it is beyond, it is transcending causality. If it is transcending causality, then it cannot have any effect also in the parinama srishti or create in the causal chain. So there from the idea of mithyatva of the world comes in. We have often a very wrong conception about the mithyatva. Mithyatva means that when we inquire into it, it is all in our consciousness. The grossness of the gross world, the subtlety of the thoughts, the subtlety of the concepts, everything is appearing in the consciousness or Atma or Brahman. It is like writing, you write God, you write dog, you write elephant, you write table, it's all written in the air. Like that, everything is written in the consciousness. That is why often we give the example of the dream. In the dream, suddenly you see a beautiful palace or a spacecraft has arrived. I often dream of a spacecraft. I don't know, the same dream I see so many times. That kind of a spacecraft I have never seen, never known of. It's a huge and special. I don't have to prepare any material or any expertise to make that spacecraft. It simply appears. There is no causality there. It simply appears in the consciousness. Like that, in the ultimate universal consciousness, the whole universe, which contains my body, mind, personality as a small speck, is appearing in that consciousness. That is the truth. So this is called Vivatta Srishti, in which it is on a substratum, we can say. It is not really a cause in the sense of Parinama Srishti or in the sense of causal creation. There is no cause. It just appears in the consciousness. So, when it is not having any cause, means that it is transcending causality. That means it doesn't have any effect also in the sense of the causality. That we have to understand. So he is not talking anything about the whatever is available in the objective canon. I told you the first day also, in science the fundamental postulate is that we don't worry about the subject. We consider the whole objective world to be as we are seeing, and we investigate in the objective world. So we have eliminated the subject from there. Whereas our rishis, they've understood that by inquiring into the objective world, we can never reach the absolute. Not only that, they also understood they can never have the emotional fulfillment by getting anything from the world. There are two things here. One is an intelligential fulfillment coming out of understanding everything ultimate to the ultimate level. Another is an emotional fulfillment where we don't anymore look for happiness. Our looking for happiness by getting anything from the world, they understood that it is not going to be fulfilled at all. Nothing from the world can ever fulfill us. So both those things, they led to the looking into the subject. Who am I who is looking at the world? Let us first understand that. And in that process, they discovered this consciousness in which the whole world appears to be. When we say whole world, means the world which contains my body, mind, personality also as a small speck. So you cannot call this consciousness within the body. Rather, the whole universe, including my body, mind, personality, is appearing in that consciousness. This is called Vivatta Bada or Vivatta Srishti. That means it is not a causal creation, it is not a Parinama Srishti, it just appears to be. The world creation is like that. The whole creation is like that. In Mundakopanishad, it is said that Yasya Jnanamayam Tapaha. That what is that? The Brahman, the whole universe is coming out of Brahman by the Jnana Tapas. What is the Jnana Tapas? That the whole world is projected in the knowledge itself. Not only that, the Rigvedic Mahavakya is Prajnanam Brahma. I am saying all these things to understand the greatness of our civilization. Can you imagine that thousands of years ago, at least more than 5,000 years ago, because Bhagavad Gita itself is 5,500, maybe 10,000 years ago, our people have said that the ultimate truth is Prajnanam. Knowledge is the ultimate. In science, in the quantum physics, finally, as we advance, we find that the ultimate thing is probability wave. But still it is objective. And we finally find that there is an interaction between the subject and object, and we cannot independently find out the objective truth. That is, whatever, if you want to detect something, whatever experiment we design, that will affect the result of it. This now we are saying about it, and our people investigating in the absolute truth, they said that Prajnanam Brahma, the ultimate is the Prajnanam, that is the knowledge. Now what kind of knowledge? It is the non-dual knowledge. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam also, right in the beginning, there is a shloka, excellent expression. Vadanti tat tattva vidaha tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. He says that the Tattvavida, the knowers of truth, they say that Tattvam Yat Jnanam Advayam. The ultimate truth is non-dual knowledge. Advaya Jnana is the ultimate truth. It is not any material, that atom or molecule or anything, or not even the concept of God. It is the knowledge itself. Now, what is this Advaya knowledge? That which the people speak about, as the philosophers will speak about it as Brahman. The spiritualists will speak about it as the Paramatma, which is the universal Atma, not body-mind limited Atma. And Bhagavan, the religion, in the religion it is spoken of as the Bhagavan. It is nothing but the non-dual knowledge. Now this non-dual knowledge itself is the concept of our Shastras. It is nowhere available in the Western logic or anywhere. We have two kinds of knowledge. One is Pratyaksha, one is Paroksha. That is, one is a direct perception with the Indriyas, another is the inference. That is, whatever we see, from that we infer. Most of the scientific knowledges are inferences. Has anybody seen any atom or molecule or any elementary particle? We see something, from there we infer that this is the ultimate. And that goes on changing also. Inference goes on changing. As we advance further, the inference changing. Even light, has anybody seen the light? If we could see light, then the space will look bright, is it not? From the sun, the light is coming. Whenever there is an object, that object scatters light, that the object is seen. Nobody sees the light. Then if you see the light, then you could see the light coming from the space. But you see the picture of the spacecraft is very bright in a dark background. Is it not so? Don't you agree to that? We don't see light. We see the object when it scatters light. Even here also, say the electricity is coming as sound, as light, as photography also. So many expressions are there. But is it not the same electricity which nobody has ever seen? The fan on air, AC is running, the fans are running. These are all manifestation of the electricity there. So the electricity is also in a way an inference from whatever is there. We are saying the moment if everything goes, we will say the power supply has failed. Is it not an inference? Everything, most of the things are inferences. Now in our Shastras, we have another kind of, a third kind of a knowledge, and which is the most important in our Vedanta. It is called aparoksha. Neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. That is, it is not, neither can be seen by, perceived by any of the sense organs, and it is not out of any inference also. Now generally we refer to this aparoksha knowledge as when the subject and object duality, they get dissolved, they get unified with each other. We call it the aparoksha knowledge. But in a way we can say that there is aparoksha knowledge for us, everybody also. How? That you are you seeing yourself, your Atma, yourself, with any of the sense organs? Is it an inference from what you were saying that you will say that, yes, I am? Then if I can prove that you are not, will you believe it? You will say, no, whatever you may say your logic, I am not, but I know that I am. How do you know that you are? This is a knowledge, is aparoksha. It is not a pratyaksha, nor an inference, paroksha also. It is actually an aparoksha knowledge. Even that we have a mind also is aparoksha. That you have a mind can be my inference, because you are also behaving like me somewhat. So I have a mind, so I can infer that you have a mind. That is an inference. But that I have a mind, it is my aparoksha knowledge. But generally we don't use in that form. Aparoksha is used where the non-dual experience. Say in generally we talk about Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where all the dualities, it is transcending the duality. Subject-object duality is gone. That is the aparoksha. Now that knowledge, the ultimate consciousness we call it, or Atma, Paramatma, Brahman, whatever we call, that is the Advaya knowledge, and that is the ultimate truth. Now, our Shastras, the Rig Veda, it is the Rigvedic Mahavakya which says Prajnanam Brahma, the ultimate substratum of the whole Srishti, universe, is knowledge. Can you imagine our culture? What is this country? What is this civilization? Thousands and thousands of years ago they have made these statements, and we don't honor it at all. Are we honoring it? We always look at the West for all the knowledge. So this is the truth he is talking about. Naturally, it is not in the objective ken. The whole objective universe, the gross objects, as well as the subtle objects of thoughts, concepts, emotions, they are all appearing in this consciousness. The other day I told you that we are seeing you also. Until you appear in my consciousness, will I know you? Nobody will know. Only actually, although these things are outside, we are calling it external. What actually I am interacting with is that external is appearing in my consciousness. In the consciousness, something is appearing as external and something is appearing as internal. That is, the thoughts, emotions are appearing as internal, and these all of you are sitting, that is appearing as external. But both are appearing in the consciousness only. That is what we are knowing, interacting with. Now he says further qualifications of this truth, what Nachiketa wanted to know. If you know anything about that which is beyond duality, you tell me about that. He is saying ajaha. Ajaha means which doesn't have any birth. Now anything in creation, material creation, has got birth, has got death, has got the changes also. This doesn't have any birth. Ajaha. Nityaha. Then it is always transcending time. Always it is there. Nityaha. Shashvataha means which is undecaying, which doesn't have birth, doesn't have death. It will be undecaying also. It doesn't undergo any change at all. Shashvataha. Ayam Puranaha. This Puranaha word we always use as ancient. Is it not so? Actually, it has got a great meaning, which is always, if you go into the etymology in Shabda Kalpadruma, you will find that it is always which is new. Pura Nava. Puranaha means which was in ancient times also it was new, and even now also it is new. Why it is Puranaha means it is even preceding time. Now preceding time word doesn't have any meaning. When we are saying preceding time means again we are referring to the time. Actually it is, the word should be transcending time. So what is transcending time is the Puranaha. That means it is transcending time. That is the most ancient. Even saying ancient is not all right, because ancient means again back in time. It is surpassing the time. It is transcending time. That is the Puranaha. Actually our Purana, the literature, Puranic literature is called Puranaha not because they are ancient, but they are always new. As the first day I explained that their purpose is not to give you only the information. They are using the informations to express a tattva, a truth. And what is that truth? It is eternal truth. So it will never become old. All our Puranas will not going to, even if you call Ramayana also is a Purana, it is never going to be old. Bhagavatam, never going to be old. So it means the most ancient but ever new also you can say. Chira Navina we say, always new. So this Atma also is always new. Once my Purvashrama sister had come to the ashram, and listening to our prayers for some time, for a few days, a long stay, she came for a month or so. She said that, don't you feel bored that every day you are chanting the same thing in the morning and evening? I said, yes, you must be feeling bored, because when you are chanting, you are not able to touch the depth of it. Whatever we are chanting, if we do it with bhava and the meaning, then every moment through the chanting you are touching the soul which is ever new. Because you are not able to get at that touch. So you are only chanting as you are singing other songs with music and all. It will become stale after some time. But in any of our shloka chanting and all, if we touch the basic truth there, then it can never become old at all. Even in classical music also, if you utter a single shruti properly and if you can touch God there, it is never going to become old. You can go on singing sa, sa, sa for a long time. You will get all the horripilation and joy from here. Is it not so? Musicians will be able to say. So, actually it is the Atma. Whenever we are touching the Atma, it can never become old. It is timeless. It is transcendental. So he says this is what the truth is, the Atma is. And why the Vipashchit, the knower, no, Vipashchit can mean both. Why it is true of the knower also? Because the knower is identifying with that Atma. He is not identifying with the body-mind personality which is undergoing change. Actually, the whole of Bhagavad Gita you will find Krishna always is saying me, me, me. Because Krishna is a person who has identified himself with the universal I, the truth. So naturally for him, saying me is fine. And anybody, even if Krishna is not there now also, you can follow the instructions because it is the truth is in everybody's inmost truth, there itself. So the guidance is right from there. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even when the body is killed or attacked, is decaying, it doesn't touch the Atma at all. After this, there is one shloka. Then the next shloka says, Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atmasya janto nihito guhayam tamakratuh pashyati vita shoko dhatu prasadat mahimanamatmanah. This is important because what he is saying, this Atma is anoho aniyan. It is smaller than the smallest. It is even subtler than the subtle. Mahato mahiyan. It is greater than the great. But what does it mean? Are you going to look for this Atma, then going to the particles and waves and whatever is the subtle thing, quantum, and behind that? Or you are going to look into the astronomical things, cosmic level beyond that to find out the Atma? No. Why? Janto nihito guhayam. It is there in everybody's within. And you cannot find it anywhere except in your own within, because anywhere means it is the objective can. You cannot find the Atma anywhere in the objective can. You can discover it only as the amness in us. It is right there in everybody's identity. So we can discover right there. Then why it is not that we are not able to discover it? Tam akratuhu pashyati vita shokaha. Dhatu prasadat mahimanam atmanah. Akratuhu means when we become desireless. Kratuhu means desire. Kratu means yajna also. Here it is desire. When we become desireless, then we are able to see the mahima of this Atma, the glory of this Atma. It is revealed to us by what? Dhatu prasadat. Dhatu means of which our personality's being is made of. The elements with which our being is made of. So it is that transformation process they are referring to. By the purity of the aspects of our being, of the elements of our being, that prasada dawns. As the other say, I quoted from Bhagavad Gita also, that the purity of the being, by the ragadvesha, removal of the ragadvesha there, we attain the prasada. Here it is dhatu prasada. The whole elements, all the elements of our being undergo a transformation, a purification process by which all the glories of Atma becomes realized, or it becomes available to us, it becomes visible to us, not with the eyes but feelable. And he becomes vita shokaha. He must be becoming free of all grief. Vita shokaha. Now this is how our Yamaraja's instruction goes. We cannot go into too much of detail further. I will go to some of the last sections. 2 shlokas come at the end, almost at the end. Which in the beginning, as the Kathopanishad starts, the first word is Ushanhavayi Vajashravasaha. That means desirous of heaven, Vajashravas was doing the yaga. See, the first word was desire. And that desire made Vajashravas not fit for the knowledge. Nachiketa was fit for the knowledge, but his father was not. Now he comes back. Initially, they describe so many things about Atma, about Brahman, so many things are talked about. But you will find towards the end, Upanishad only speaks about this desire again. He says, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridishritaha athamatyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Yada sarve kamaha hridishritaha sarve kamaha pramuchyante. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridishritaha athamatyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashnute. When all the desires hiding, seated in our heart, deep in our heart, they are all removed, dissolved, cleared. Athamatyo, the mortal man, they are referring to us again and again, matyaha, matyaha. Why? To remind us that as long as we identify ourselves with the body, mind, personality, we are mortal. So they are repeatedly using the word matyaha, matyaha. We should understand that we are not matyaha. Atha matyaha, matyo, amrito bhavati. Atha matyaha, amrito bhavati. The mortal man becomes immortal. By what? His body doesn't become immortal. By his identification shifting from the body-mind personality to his real identity, the Atma. Athamatyo amrito bhavati. Atra brahma samashnute. Here itself he attains the Brahman. In this life, on this earth. Not after the body falls, going to the heaven and Brahmaloka and all. The Upanishads are very clear about it. They speak about the Jivan Mukti, that here itself, when the mind becomes clear of all the desires, when the intelligence becomes free of all its fetters, it becomes clear and subtle and sharp. Here itself, man becomes immortal. He realizes that he is Amritasya Putraha. He is Amritasya Putraha. He is immortal. The next one says, Yada sarve prabhidyanti hridayasyeha granthayaha athamatto amrito bhavati. Etavadhyanushāsanam. When all the granthis, the knots in our heart, see all the ego we gathered, they are all knots. They are forming knots in our mind, in our heart. Everywhere there are knots, constrictions. When they are all cut asunder, when all of them are cleared, mortal man becomes immortal here itself. Etavadhyanushāsanam. Up to this we have known from our Anushasana, following the disciplines given by our teachers. This is how the Upanishad ends. Similarly, in the Mundakopanishad also, towards the end, he is saying about the three kinds of fulfillment we have talked about in the beginning. He says, Vidyate hridaya granthi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. Tasmin drishte paravare. When that truth is seen in what? In para as well as avara. That means in the great as well as small. In the active life as well as in the meditative life. It is not enough if you discover the truth in samadhi, meditation. No. Then when you are coming out of the samadhi, again the world is the world. It is not the truth. It is not the Atma. So, to have the final knowledge, we have to discover the same truth in whatever we are discovering in the meditation. The same truth is there. The whole world is appearing in that Atma. Paravare, tasmin drishte paravare. In Kaṭhopaniṣad it is said, Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. When man becomes immortal, when he realizes this, sees this truth in every perception, pratibodha. He has to realize it in every perception, because how is the perception taking place? It's only in the consciousness, in the Atma. Without the Atma, without the consciousness, there cannot be any perception. In a zero state, there need not be the world will not be there, but still that Atma will be there. You cannot have a moment without the Atma at all. So that is why it is said that you cannot miss the Atma. But we are always missing the Atma, that is our problem. How can we miss the Atma? Because our focus is always on what is revealed and not the revealer. Suppose this microphone, unless it is not revealed by my consciousness, will I know the microphone? Now, the moment the microphone is revealed, my focus is on the microphone, not on the revealer Atma. Similarly, in the thought also, the moment the father's thought, the employee's thought, the boss's thought, the company's thought, the moment the thought comes, our focus is on what is the thought. We miss that the thought is appearing in the consciousness. The revealer part we are missing everywhere. There lies the problem. So when we discovered this revealer, the whole world becomes an expression of that revealer Atma. So pratibodha viditam matam. Then we understand that we are Amrita, that we are immortal, because we are that in which the whole universe is appearing to be. So he says, Vidyate hridaya granthi. That means all the knots of the heart are broken. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. All the doubts of the intelligence are broken. Kshiyante chasya karmani. He will not have any more sinfulness that I have done something wrong, or elation that I have done something great, or not even the duty sense that I have to do this, I have to do that, I must get my children married, or I must have my son get a job. Nothing of that sort at all. You may get it, that is different. But he will not have the doership at all. Kshiyante chasya karmani. He will neither have doership nor have the enjoyship. So there are three kinds of results they are talking about when tasmin drishte paravare, when the truth is found, discovered everywhere, in every perception, in the great, in the small, when we find the Atma, then three things happen. Vidyate hridaya granthi. All the constrictions of the heart, selfishness, jealousy and whatnot, competition, they are all coming from the knots of the heart, emotional constrictions. So the first pada is talking about the emotional fulfillment. When the heart becomes universal, all-embracing, then there is no further abhava bodha, as we were discussing yesterday and day before. No further insufficiency at all. He remains fulfilled. So that is the emotional fulfillment. The second one is the intelligential fulfillment. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. He becomes doubtless. Oh, is it the truth or not? Have I realized? Have I not? Nothing, no doubt, nothing at all. Kshiyante chahasya karmani. His all the doership, enjoyship, whatnot, it is no more valid. He sees the whole world is a phenomenological happening. It's a phenomena. In that phenomena, my body-mind personality, the body-mind personality associated with this also is a play of the gunas. It is going on doing it. I have no doership there at all. We are the witness of everything. So this is the end result of the Upanishads, whether it is Mundakopanishad or Kaṭhopaniṣad. I had promised that the sixth verse of the Mundakopanishad also I will explain, because it is same as Nachiketa's question and Yamaraja's reply in another form. The sixth shloka, that's the beginning of Angirasa's instruction to Shaunaka. Right in the beginning, generally our Shastras, they say the ultimate word. Then they come down to the base level and again start building up. So the first statement is the final word. What is that? Yattad adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushrotram tadapanipadam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. He says paripashyanti dhiraha. Dhiraha paripashyanti. Paripashyanti means they see everywhere around. Everywhere. Who sees? The wise people, dhiraha. What do they see? Yat tad adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam. They are seeing what? We are always seeing what is drishya, what is grahya, what is audible. Our focus is always on small, small things, on the objectude. Various items of the objectude. But the dhiras are seeing everywhere what? Which is cannot be seen. Cannot be seen when they say, it should be understood that cannot be heard, cannot be smelt, all the five indriyas. They need not say, it is understood. So, which cannot be perceived by any of the indriyas. Adreshya means that. Agrahyam means which cannot be grasped by any of the karmendriyas. The first one is cannot be perceived by any of the jnanendriyas. Then the second word is cannot be held by any of the karmendriyas, grasped. Agotram. Gotra means the causal sequence, is it not? We find out our gotra, where from we have come and all. That means the causal sequence. That means agotram means which does not have any causal sequence, which is beyond the causal sequence. That causality, it is beyond causal chain. Avarnam. What is the varnam doing? Color. It makes us differentiate things. Is it not so? Varna, we can, with a modern scientific K, we can change a little. It is a refractive index. Suppose there is no Varna change, but there is a glass and there is air. Because of the refractive index difference, we are able to separate out that here is a glass. That means that is also part of the Varna. Our Varna means that also. Whatever by seeing we are able to differentiate, it is because of the Varna. Avarnam means it is unfragmented. You cannot differentiate. It is non-differentiable. So these are the properties generally any object will have. Perceived by the jnanendriyas, held or grasped by the karmendriyas, limited by causality, causal chain, and the last one is fragmented, limited in space. So we can say that all these are vastu guna. So the truth is vastu guna varjita. Is it okay? That right statement. It is vastu guna varjita. That means any object to have to be perceptible, these are the qualities. So this Atma doesn't have any of these qualities. It is neither having the causality, it is nor having the perceivable qualities, it not having the graspable qualities, nor having the last one, the differentiation. The second line speaks about it is kartri bhoktri guna varjita. What is that? Achakshu shrotram tada panipadam. It does not have eyes or ears or anything with which we perceive the objects. That is, we are kartri bhoktri bhava. We are karta and bhokta because of our organs, sense organs. So it doesn't have the eyes, ears or anything. Achakshu shrotram tada panipadam. Even the karmendriyas are not there. So the first line says that it is neither like any of the objects nor like any of us who are enjoying the experiencing the objects. It cannot be an experiencer of the objectude. See, there also our Shastras say we are saying as enjoying. Actually, enjoying does not mean that it is always enjoyable. Experiencing is the real term. We say bhoga can be both. Actually, we mean experiencing. So it does not have the experiencer's property, neither it is experientiable, that objective qualities. Achakshu shrotram tada panipadam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam. Nityam means which transcends time. Now you can say that which is always in time. I would prefer the expression which transcends time. It is not that always time means it is limited by time. When we say it is always there, our ideas will not go beyond time. So we will miss the truth there. Time, causality is all within the objectude. So to specify where we have to focus, I always would like to say that it is transcending time, not always it is there. Nitya means always, but it is actually meaning it is transcending time. Vibhum means it has taken all the forms. That means it is transcending the forms. Which will take all the forms? If it already has a form, can it take all the forms? It is not possible. Only when it is transcendental, it can take all the forms. Sarvagatam. Again, when we say Sarvagatam, we mean that it is percolating everything. I would like to point out, no, it is not percolating everything. Everything is appearing in it. Do you get it? Then it transcends space. It transcends time. It transcends form. It transcends space. Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam. Again, when we say susukshmam, we are thinking in terms of, because our thoughts will be, we are always involved with the objects. So we will see that water is subtler than the solid, air is subtler than water, space is subtler than air, like that we will think. That is, we are thinking in terms of objectitude. We will miss the truth. It is beyond the level of objective subtlety. That means why? Because in this Atma, the subtle as well as gross both are appearing. The grossest object is appearing in the consciousness. The subtlest we can think of also is appearing in that consciousness. All the concepts, concepts of God, everything is appearing in the consciousness. So susukshmams means which transcends the level of subtlety also. It is beyond the subtle and gross, subtlety and grossness. Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam. Then comes the real statement. Tad avyayam yad bhuta yonim paripashyanti dhira. Tat avyayam yad bhuta yonim. Bhuta yonim means the source of the entire universe, from where all the objects, the whole objectude is coming. That is the bhuta yonim. But the previous word, preceding word, what is that? Avyaya. Unchanging bhuta yoni. Can there be any unchanging bhuta yoni? You think of the white dwarf or black hole or anything, everywhere there is change. Avyayam means here is a source, if you can call it source. It is not source in the material terms, which not undergoing any change. Avyayam means there is no change at all. In any effect, producing effect, the cause undergoes a change. But in this, for the Atma, for the consciousness, the effect, the whole universe appears. Nothing changes in the Atma. Suppose the Atma had undergone change by producing the universe, then our self-realization will become meaningless. We will never be able to know this Atma. It has undergone change by producing the universe. Because it doesn't undergo any change at all, it remains available to us. That is why this Rajju Sarpa is said that when you are seeing the snake, has the rope undergone any change? Rope is rope. Just like that. Our mind is producing trillions and trillions of thoughts and emotions and all. Has anything changed in the... Because the mind is close to the consciousness. The manifestation is closest to the consciousness. It doesn't undergo any change also. It goes on producing this without undergoing any change. But in case of mind, there are some changes take place, which can be eliminated also. So, this is the one yoni, the bhuta yoni, which without undergoing any change, it produces the whole universe. That is why Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Nothing changes. The whole infinite universe is born in this, is appearing in this, but nothing happens to it. It remains Purna in its own manner. No change at all. Similarly, for us also, when we discover that this is our real identity and correspondingly the mind undergoes the change, we also have the same understanding, realization. How? Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi upanad gudhapadasya nanu charma stritaiva bhuhu. This is from Yoga Vasishta. Manasi purne sati. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. Jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi sampurnam bhavati. When the mind becomes full, for him, full means in the sense of purna, this purna, when there is no lack, no insufficiency at all, then the whole world becomes nectarine for him, purna for him. Like, suppose you don't want to touch the dust of the earth. Are you going to cover the whole earth with leather so that you don't have to walk on dust? What will you do? Put on the shoes. And you walk anywhere, the whole earth gets covered with leather. By your putting on the shoes, the whole earth gets covered with leather. Here also, by your mind becoming full, all the troubles of the world goes. You go anywhere, you behave anywhere, no trouble will touch you anymore. Upanat gudhapadasya nanu charma stritaiva bhuhu. The whole world gets covered with leather. Like that, when the mind becomes full, the whole world becomes nectarine for him. I wanted to show you some slides summarizing the whole thing. Can we show? If you have any question, you can ask. But, I will have to move. Then do we have any cordless? I had, we just prepared the slides, but finally I leave it to, because we don't know. Whatever we speak, actually it depends on the audience. So if anything good comes out of the mouth, then we feel the happiest. Whether you feel happy or not, we don't know. But when the truth comes out, we feel happiest because we are the first listeners of whatever is coming out. So although we think of what shall I speak, whether we will do this or that, finally it doesn't happen like that. Seeing the people, whatever comes out of the mouth, we speak. So since it was made, and I had been telling every day, Rajan also, that we will show. So we are showing, it is a sort of summary also. It's not, which one? This one? No? Huh? Hey, तुम करो. ये तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा. This we did not discuss in detail, but this everybody knows, so I did not speak about it. That there are other kinds of division in the sections in the Vedas, but this is the way we divided it into Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. The Karma Kanda consists of the rituals, prayers, disciplines, sacrifices, yajnas, etc., yaga, yajna, everything. And Jnana Kanda is consisting of the Upanishads. It is called the Vedashira or the Vedanta, whatever, dealing with the knowledge of self or ultimate truth. Next. Now, the first day I said that the Shanti mantras, they are a different kind of prayers. Generally, the Vedic prayers are desireful. Give me wealth, give me children, give me fame. These are the usual ritualistic Vedanta. The yajnas also people do because of the desire for heaven, desire for children, like that. Whereas the Upanishadic part is entirely reverse. If we pray for becoming desireless. In the Jajna also, Bhagavad Gita speaks about Jajna. It is just the reverse of Karma Kanda. Whatever you do, if you do it renouncing the desires, if you do it desirelessly, then it becomes a Jajna. So you see the two inversion points. So here the prayers are aspirational. That means there is a current force working in your mind which will bring in. When I am praying that may I be pure. Unless we really crave for purity, the prayer will not have any meaning. They are all self-addressed prayer. While praying, we will immediately where the force is working in us. So I have used the term aspiration for that. Now this I had explained the first day, that why did we think of God at all? It is because we are born in this world where everything is moving by causality. So this causal sense, which is bred in us right from birth, gives us a sense of there must be a cause for the world also. So we conceive of a God. Earlier days in Vedic times, whatever powers, say earthquake, flood, etc., we were not able to have the scientific explanation. So we had each natural power behind that one God, one deity. That was the concept. And at that time also perhaps we had thought about the God who is the creator of the universe. But actually it is a wrong extrapolation of the causality. God is a wrong extrapolation of causality. Because you cannot extend the causality beyond that limit. Then again you will ask that who made God? How did God come out? So we have to understand that if there is any absolute, it has to be beyond causality. We have to transcend the causality. And what is there other than the material objective universe? It is the I, which is the revealer of the universe, in which the whole universe appears to be. So that is what we have shown in this diagram. In the sign that religious worship is depending on the concept of God. Whereas here, scientific inquiry, they rejected the subject part of it. So they were, right from the fundamental postulate of science, we are entering into the causality. On the basis of causality, we are inquiring into the world. So finally the causality fails, but you cannot reach the absolute by that. Whereas in spiritual quest, we inquire into the I, which is not part of the objective universe. We are not by I, we are not saying the body, mind, personality, but the revealer of the body, revealer of the mind, revealer of intelligence also. So there, the inquiry into real I, that has to transcend causality. That is how the whole spiritual subject has grown. Now, it is a summarization of our religious method based on faith in some concept of God, prayers and worship directed to external God, disciplines, but whatever the prayers and worship, they are good because they discipline our body, mind, emotion, everything. They keep the society also on the auspicious moral track. So that is the benefit of religion. But at the same time, the religion also says the God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Now, if we really think about these three terms, which are actually religious terms, then also we will be able to overcome the usual constrictions a religious person suffers from. Suppose it is present everywhere, then why do we have to see God in a temple, in a deity? That means other than the deity, God is not there. He is everywhere. So the best way is to see within us. But we are not saying that the temple is not necessary. Because throughout the day you are engaged in all worldly things. At least going to the temple is allowing you to think something other than the world. So there the effectiveness is there. But fundamentally when you think, the God cannot be limited by one deity. It is everywhere. Similarly, when you say that the God is omniscient, He knows everything, then what is the point in prayer? Before you pray, God knows? Is it not so? Do we have to say that God give me this? Actually, God knows more than that. That is why He doesn't grant all our prayers. Otherwise, we would have been in trouble. If all our prayers were sanctioned by God, we would have been in trouble. He knows this will not be all right. So He doesn't give. So, spiritual, the other one, I have not finished that one. The other one is omniscient and omnipotent. And omnipotent means He is doing everything. He is all powerful. Then whatever happens to us, it has been done by the God. Then why do we have to complain anything? If any calamity has taken place, then it has been done by the God, we should accept it. God has done it, we should accept it. Why do we have to complain that God, don't give me this, relieve me of this? He is doing everything, we should be able to accept it. Actually, otherwise also it is meaningless. I will sit, it is going worse. I will be able to see like this. See, suppose, can we take 5 minutes more? 5-10 minutes. No, this is okay. Suppose something has happened. You have lost your property, you have lost your job, you have lost your relatives, everything. A person is standing on the road and wailing and crying that, oh God, why you have taken away everything? Why this has happened to me? All these things he is shouting and he is under great stress, is it not? Now, a simple truth, let us think. Is there a way of walking back in time? Whatever has happened, is there any meaning in not accepting that? There is no meaning. And all the stress, tension, grief you are suffering, is it for the event which has taken place, or is it because of the non-readiness of your mind to accept the situation? Do you get my point? It has happened. You cannot do anything about it. You cannot walk back. You can again redress. That is different. But the stress and tension you are suffering from, it is because of the non-readiness of your mind in accepting whatever has happened. Now, with this simple logic, you can accept it, or you can apply your devotion to God that whatever has happened, God has given me. So accept it. See, we should understand the truth. Both are same. Because our intelligence is not allowing us to accept the intelligential discrimination that I should accept it. Whatever has happened, I cannot walk back. Because we are not able to, we bring in God, the concept of the God, and God is all powerful. He has done it, so we must accept it. The fact remains in acceptance. And the moment you accept it, immediately you will find that the whole tension has gone, strain has gone, you will be in peaceful. The peace will be much more. If the calamity is more, the corresponding peace will be equally more. Because that calamity, that tension it was creating in our mind will immediately go. And then you will be able to redress the situation also much better. If you are agitated, affected, you will not be able to redress the situation. So basically, it is the acceptance which is called for there. So the religion does not make us do things wrongly. If we understand it in detail, that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, etc., then also all these things can be done by our analysis. But we don't. That is the problem. Now, next one. Now, where does spirituality begin? When we start inquiring into the concept of the God. Because whatever you may say, we know that God is right within as our own Atma or so. But while praying, you will find that the mind goes to think of things of some external God. Even for Vedantins also, mostly. Is it not so? When you are in trouble, you will think of a God sitting somewhere who will relieve me. So, this external God gets replaced by the whole sadhana becomes our adhara related or our being related. That is the whole pursuit. It is no more praying to God for doing this, doing that, or looking for that, or when I will get the vision of God. The whole pursuit gets changed into looking within and finding out how to discover the real truth firsthand. That becomes the sadhana. So this I have just explained from Mundakopanishad that the ultimate of spirituality, the pursuit leads to emotional fulfillment, intelligential fulfillment, and integrated personality. The last part I have not discussed in detail. Kathopanishad discusses it very well. I have today the prasada I will give there. I have discussed the Kathopanishad model also. And the pursuit is rational and universal, independent of religious, racial, and regional differences. There lies the greatness of spirituality. Whether you are an African, an American, a Hindu or not, it doesn't matter at all. It is an experimental, experiential science. It is true of all human beings as long as we have the mind, intelligence, and the other aspects of our personality. Same. Next. This we have just compared. As in science, the discovery is experimental. Here the object of experiment is our own identity. You are experimenting. The rishis started after they understood that from the world they will not be able to get at the truth. They started experimenting with their own inner being. And that is the object they are experimenting with. Now here, when we say experience or experimental, it doesn't mean that always it has to be some sort of a bliss, ecstasy or so. No. Suppose just now we said that the moment you accept, you will be freed of the tension. The tension you are suffering from non-acceptance, the moment you develop acceptance, it goes. Now, is it not your experience? That the tension goes is your experience. Like that, whatever knowledge brings in, the purity is an experience for us. The knowledge will give us purity, lightness, universality, all these are experience. And we will be able to know every step whether we are expanding, whether we are growing or not. The growth is very much experiential in that sense. The method and the results are repeatable. How it is repeatable? It is not repeatable in our objective science sense that I do the experiment with the same material 1,000 times and see that the same thing is happening. Here, what is our object of experiment? It is our own personality. So each sadhak, each pursuer is an experimental object. So it is a lifetime experiment. But you cannot say it is non-repeatable. How the Shastras are even now after thousands of years, it is still valid? Because every era there had been many people who have experimented and confirmed and reconfirmed whatever is written in the Shastras. So it is absolutely repeatable. It's wrong to say that it is not repeatable, it's not scientific. Often people blame our Shastras like that. Oh, it is all subjective. No, it is repeatable. But because the object of experiment is each personality, it has to be like that. You cannot say that I will experiment with the torch and I will discover about the personality. It has to be, each personality is an experimental object. And the approach is rational also. Whatever way we are discussing, it's all rational. Next. This, the first day I had discussed that the three great discoveries of our land. Now there is no time. The first discovery was joy lies within. Because I started with saying that we think that the delusion, we are born under a delusion that something from the world will fulfill us. That is the joy we have to get from the world. It doesn't go till we discover that the joy lies within. Joy is a natural parameter of the soul. So when you make the discovery, you don't expect joy from outside at all. There lies the ultimate solution. Anandadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti anandam pravishanti abhisambhishanti. That is a Taittiriya Upanishadic statement. Then the second, dono one ho gaya, the two rehna chahiye tha. Theek hai. Second one is our real identity, the changeless, undivided, immortal self. That is Aham Brahmasmi. Is another Mahavakya. The third discovery is the non-dual knowledge or consciousness is the substratum on which the universe appears to be. Prajnanam Brahma, the Rigvedic Mahavakya. So first I said that these are not only the three great discoveries, the greatest discovery of the world, much more important than any scientific discovery, because it has solved the problem of an individual and also the society. When the individual problem is solved, it takes away all running after things, running away from things, fear, jealousy, competition, whatnot, everything goes. So it's a solution for the society also. That is why our society is living for an unknown period of time. Anywhere in the world it has got destroyed, and that is because of the vociferous tendency we host. When the individuals are having all these tendencies, when the society is made of such individuals, it will always move towards destruction. So our Loka Sangra means bringing back the society on the auspicious track so that the society remains on the auspicious track. Okay, then we'll stop here. And this is just as a summary. We will stop here. Further I will not show. This is the last. That now the way we have discussed, what is the spiritual sadhana? We start from the constricted idea of ourself, that body, mind, limited. I am running after things what I like. I am running away from things I dislike. I am suffering from grief, jealousy, whatnot, all those things. It's a constricted idea of the self. And where does spirituality take us? It is to that universal identity where the Atma is not fragmented by the body-mind personality at all. We embrace the whole universe. Our identity embraces infinitude. So, naturally, what is the path? Suppose from a small identity, constricted identity, we are becoming universal. Then what is this pursuit or the path? We can easily determine, is it not? That means whatever expands, looking within, we feel that our mind is expanding. Our mind is becoming lighter, expanded, all-embracing. It is freed of its constricted qualities and all. That is the path for spirituality. So suppose by doing puja or doing japa or anything, I become more selfish, more constricted, then it is going against spirituality. It is not a spiritual sadhana. Spiritual sadhana will be that which will expand my mind. What is Bhagavad Gita? By killing the people, Arjuna's mind underwent expansion. Is it not so? I am not saying that you should kill people to expand, but the fact is that whatever expands the mind takes it beyond its limitations, constrictions. That is the spiritual sadhana. In Bhagavad Gita, it is very well that setup is given to say that, to prove that it is so. Because Arjuna came with the idea that yat rajya sukha lobhena. His idea was very constricted. 1.45, I think. He said that he is going to fight the war for rajya sukha lobha. It was a very personal, selfish aim. And the whole Bhagavad Gita is changing the mindset into that you are fighting the war not for your personal gain, but to establish the righteous rule on earth. And for that, if you have to kill Duryodhana, you have to kill Bhishma also. That is the idea. So wherever there is expansion, that is the spiritual sadhana. The growth is in expansion, becoming more and more infinite. Infinitude doesn't have any limit. So with this, I think we have to stop. It is already 8:05.
Thank you very much.
There is no time. If you stay back, I have no problem in staying back and replying your question, but people would like to go back after it.
Correct.
So if you want some question after the prasada distribution, I can talk to you.
Give us some time. After the prasada, maybe.
Huh.
Yeah, sure.
And or tomorrow morning I am there in Bala's house. If you feel, you can come over there also in Nandanam extension. They can tell you. I will be there tomorrow morning also. My flight has got deferred from early morning to evening. So now we would finish with the Shanti mantra. Then you can ask. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.